Hello friends, welcome to An Abundance of Books. My name is Julia and it's everybody's favorite time of the month where we do our categories TBR game. There's a playlist down below. You know how this works by now. We're picking everything that I'm reading in June and I don't really have any plans. I know that Whatever-a-thon is going on in June and that one has a bingo board, so I might just see if I end up getting a bingo. That'll inform my reads later on, but I don't really want to mess with the TBR sitch. And I figured I'd mention up front, so that my tiny brain remembers, the two things that I do every month are: one, participate in the Literally Dead book club. This month it is Hide by Kiersten or Kristen, I will check. And the second thing I do is the buzzword word. For June, the word is all, which is a tough one. I took a quick look at my TBR, which you can't see, it's up here, and I don't think I have anything with all. I have wall. We might have to resort to that if nothing else. So that's what we're going to try to do today. I also took a sneak peek at the prompts for this month, and number 12 is book titles. So I feel like my reputation is on the line this month. This doesn't feel right. I feel like I should ramble more to delay the inevitable, but let's do it. The letter is B. So I only figured out halfway through doing that by having a prompt of book titles, that basically lets me pick a book as long as it starts with a B. But I couldn't think of a book that I wanted to read, only one that I had read. Let's not ramble, let's just read the list. Nicknames: I have Babe, Things in the Sky, Balloon, Pizza Toppings, Bacon, Colleges, Universities. I have Brown, Fish, Barramundi, don't judge my spelling, I'm very bad at it. Countries, Bahamas, Things That Have Spots. That's the one that I couldn't come up with. Bears, do bears have spots? Historical figures, Benjamin Franklin, Something You're Afraid Of, Bees. Terms of measurement, a butt ton. I feel pretty confident about that one. Items in this room, I wrote books. I couldn't help myself. And then book titles, I did The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, which is a book that I have already read and I did not enjoy. But at least I got 11 out of 12. There was a minute where I was not feeling confident, but we'll be okay. I will be back in a moment with some books. Hello friends, I have returned. I ate some dinner. I picked some books. Let's talk about them. I have a stack. How can I show you without spoiling? 4 out of 5 I have physical books for, which never happens. So I don't know if this is an omen. Whether it's a good one or a bad one remains to be seen. So let's talk about what I picked. I feel good about what I picked, but I also feel like these are the only books it could be. Most months I swap out at least one of the books and read something for the prompt, but not the book that I chose. And I feel like some of these might be hard to switch out if I tried to do so. Certainly not the first one, but in general, that is fair. The first prompt I'm using is Babe, which is a term of endearment for your significant other, and I have chosen For All Time by Shanna. This is a story about two beings. The neighborhood's been very noisy tonight, I just can't win. This story is about two beings, Tamar and Fayard, who have lived 1,000 lives and find each other and fall in love in every life. So in the first one they're teenagers, but my impression is it's like short stories, but all the same. Like they fall in love in modern times, in Victorian times, in Egyptian times. Like, I don't know. That's the vibe that I get from this. The only thing is, I have previously started this book and tentatively DNF'd it. But I knew that the word all was coming up for the Buzzword Readathon, so this is my last chance for it. I still love it in concept, but it's something about the writing didn't quite click with me, so I'm gonna give it a good chance. Did I try the audiobook last time? I feel like I did. I hated it. One way or another we'll know DNFs count for this game as long as it is permanently DNF'd and removed from my home. which is too bad because this is very pretty. Next, the prompt that we're using is balloon. Where do you find balloons? At a carnival. Do you find them at a haunted carnival? Probably. We have Hide by Kiersten Whitehead, which I mentioned at the beginning. This is a horror book set in a haunted amusement park. I would love to tell you more, but I don't know anymore. Next, we're using Butt Ton. One of my goals this year is to read long books. I want to read 8 books over 500 pages. I realized 8 is probably too many for me, but we're gonna get one out of the way. This is Caliban's War by James F.A. Corey, the second book in the Expanse series. I've picked this up and immediately thought, should I read Mistborn? That's also a chunker. And it's right here, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, first book in the Mistborn trilogy. Both of these are just books that my husband yells at me to read, so I feel like I should read at least one of them. The reason I picked Caliban's War is because I've been on the waiting list for the audiobook for this, and it finally came in, so I want to read this while I am giving myself my best chance to get through 600 pages. Expanse is about a couple of space societies, and there's some mystery stuff going on. There was like a crime noir vibe to the first one, but I think this one expands the world a lot. I'm realizing that was a very bad summary, and I will have to find something before I fully embark on this book. Mistborn, I don't know, bending of some kind. I'll read it eventually. Next prompt, we're using books. I'm sorry, I had to. It's just too obvious. Is there anything else in this room that starts with a B? A blanket. There's a blanket, but I didn't pick that. I picked a book, and I will be reading The Bookshop of Yesterdays by Amy Meyerson. This is the one about a woman who inherits her uncle's bookstore, and he's left a bunch of clues inside of it. To what end? A terrible secret that tears her family apart. A love letter to reading in bookstores, a testament to the healing power of community and how history shape who we become. But it's got a scavenger hunt in a bookstore, and that sounds super fun to me. I bought this from an independent bookseller that I went to a long time ago, and she sold it pretty hard, so I'm excited to finally get to it. And then the final prompt that we're doing is Bear on the Nightingale. For this one, I wanted to try to come up with something that was like the same vibe as it, but I don't really have anything. I also didn't like Bear on the Nightingale, so what I went for instead was the vibe of the cover, the big title, the house, a person. And the closest I could come up with, which I feel pretty good about, is The Miracles of the Namiya General Store by Keigo Higashino. This is about a magical general store. I wanted to say post office for some reason, where I think you can send letters to the past. This was recommended on Booktube a long time ago. I don't remember who recommended this, but thank you for the recommendation, whoever you were. It sold 14 million copies worldwide, so it must be okay. So there you go. Those are all the books that I am planning on reading in June. I never get to have stacks. This is so exciting. I just read everything on my e-reader. But this also seems very reasonable. Like, even this chunker doesn't look that chunky. But I think that's it. That was a very easy round of our categories TBR game, but I will take it. I've earned it at this point. Alright, that's it from me. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!